Hello, everybody. Let me grab something to help our internet signal. It looks like it's going to be a little bit weak. Welcome. Hello, hello. Let me see if I can get us hooked in a little bit closer to the internet. I don't want us to lose our signal, and it looks like it might happen. Hey, Amanda. Hello, Wendy. I'm so glad to see y'all. Happy Tuesday. All right. I might have to lose this sweater. Hey, Sandy and Pam Register. I'm in a setup. I don't know if y'all were here yesterday or not. Oh, I hope we don't drop it. I'm not really sure what's going on with this. It's looking really weak. I'm just going to move forward. We're just going to pray the Lord sends the signal out. Yesterday, I was sitting down in my regular place where I've got a really pretty background. And y'all, I had so much stuff that I kept dropping stuff and it was turning over. So I decided I need to stand up. I work better standing. So I moved. Hey, April. Yep, I see you. Karen and Laurie and Holly, Connie. Good. We've got a good group. I'm so thankful y'all are here. So let me welcome you. So normally we go live on Tuesdays every week. Lord willing, we always go live and do lettering at lunch. And so this week is special though, because we are doing a special event called Butterflies and Bunnies, and it's to introduce the newest member of our creative family, and that is the creative ART Printables. And so I've got lots of stuff planned for us this week, just showing you some ideas of how you can use ART Printables in your creative projects and in your journaling even, to help you create faith-based, beautiful, creative projects. So what I have done is I've taken some of my artwork, have tons and tons and tons of artwork. And so I've been going through it and handpicking the ones that I think that y'all would love in your Bible journaling and in your creative projects. And so then once I selected some of those pieces, then I created some backgrounds like coordinating stripes or patterns. So it's been a lot of fun. So right now we currently have the bunny bundle. And I know a lot of you have purchased the bunny bundle, and thank you. I want to just take a minute and show you what's inside so that it's not confusing on what I'm talking about. And I've got my file folders. I'm trying to keep everything straight, but just in case I cross over and combine a bundle or something. So the bunny bundle includes 3 different bunnies. These are two bunnies and 1 bunch of carrots. So these are the 3 main designs in this bunny bundle. So if you look at the bottom, I call him the little brown velvet bunny, and there's the little loved bunny, and there's the bunch of carrots. So what we started out with is doing it so that you've got at least 3 4x6 prints in here. So when you print this out and cut it down, you could actually frame this in a 4x6 print, a frame with a 4x6 opening. Let me say it that way. thank you, Alina, and welcome. So I painted these years and years ago, and so it makes me excited to give them new life and new purpose, because if you've been around me very long, you know I love to repurpose things. I love to repurpose old hymn books. I love to repurpose old books. All the things. I like to find ways to reuse them. So this has been something that's been like a conversation, let's say it that way, between me and the Lord for several years about this artwork. And so he used a couple of friends to spur me on of, well, you've been talking about this. When are you going to do it? So I'm doing it. And thank y'all for joining me in this journey. So these are the 3 primary pieces in the bunny bundle. And then you've got a pattern, a carrot pattern, and I love the way the carrots turned out. And this is one of the things I created with the carrots, and this is just a clipboard that I did this in Creative Hearts. I recovered it in Creative Hearts. And believe it or not, y'all, this is tissue paper. That's green tissue paper that I've hung on to. It was too pretty to throw it away. So I used it to cover the clipboard, and the bunny carrots fit perfect on here. And then these are one of the tags. So, but the carrots could also be framed. You could do that. Also, then you also have this page, and it could be framed. It would also work on the clipboard, or you could do some fussy cutting and cut out the little bunnies and carrots and use them in some of your other stuff. April, that page is 8.5 by 11. 8.5 by 11. These 2 right here are 8.5 by 11. I thought there was one other one, but maybe I'm getting it confused. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. There's 5 in here. So you've got these 2 big pages. Then we took 2 of the bunnies and sized them down even more to make like bookmarks or tags, because these would be a lot of fun to do as Easter gifts or spring gifts in your spring decorations. I feel like the lighting is not as good over here, y'all. I'm sorry. But it did help me to be able to stand up to do all this. Down at the bottom, the little squares, I'm calling those fillers, and I felt like they would be good to fill in like with Bible journaling or when you need something small. And most of those are around 3 by 3 or 2 by 2. And then the last page, and I'll show you how I ended up using these. These are also tags. And my thoughts were, especially on the carrots, you could letter whatever you wanted to on there, but these were a lot of fun to make. So this is what I made with those little tags. They're little tents. This one's like a bookmark, but I thought they'd be pretty on an Easter table or a buffet. And this is made from, let me turn that light, see if that helps any. This is made from tissue paper. I just twisted it up, and then I put some little bling on there. So that's what I made with this bundle. And I want to do a journal page today with y'all with some of this. Absolutely greeting cards. Absolutely. Yes, these would be great for greeting cards. And my thoughts with the 4x6 prints, if you didn't want to frame them, you could even use those as a card. I know a lot of y'all make cards. So I thought that was a good size for that. So just so you know, and just in case I don't forget, I'm going to keep moving through this, but we have opened up the new Creative Art Printable Club, which is the monthly club where you'll be getting printables every month for journaling, decorating, card making, for your creative projects. And I've got it planned out so that they'll coordinate with our Encouragement Club theme and our Creative Hearts theme. So this month is Butterfly Month, and it's Butterfly Month with the Encouragement Club and with Creative Hearts Studio. So that made it perfect for this week to be butterflies and bunnies. So the reason I wanted to bring that part up now is as you see, as I show you these others, I've got these foundational sizes, but we're doing this as a founding member, joining now as a founding member, and I'm listening to you on what sizes do you need, and I'll show you how I've already gotten a little bit of feedback, and that is how the butterfly cluster set was born. And I'll show you that because I did the bunny bundle, then I created the butterfly bundle. So these are butterflies from some of my artwork that I already had, and I did some reformatting. And so this is the 8.5 by 11 sheet. And then, yeah, I printed more than one of those. So I think it was Linda said she loves to make cards. And so she brought up that if they were smaller, they would show up on the background of a card. So I tweaked it some and made a pattern with them to make them smaller. Okay. Then we've got, I lost my page. Hold on there. Hold, please. So then we've got this page of a different color theme, but they're also butterflies. I have said bunny flies. I've lost count of how many times I have said bunny flies. So these are butterflies. So these started with two of my butterflies, the pink and the purple. And so I made a pattern with it. This is 8.5 by 11. It's fuzzy. It may be the internet signal. It looks clear, but let's see if it straightens out, Tanya. Let's see if it straightens out. Okay, so this is also in there. So similar to the bunnies, we've got these two different ones. This is more in the pink and purple. These are more primary colors. All right. So then I took those and made some coordinating pieces. So then I've got the pink stripe background paper that works well with this one. And then I made a yellow and white stripe that works well with this one. So it's kind of like these big pages are kind of like scrapbook paper. You could frame them or you could cut them up and use them and know that it coordinates together. You know, if you purchase a book of scrapbook paper, most of the time it's going to be color coordinated. So your small camera's clear, but the large camera's fuzzy. That's interesting. Okay. So thank you for letting me know, Sandy. I may just swap it over then. Let's do that so that I want y'all to be able to see it clear. So if I swap it over, is it clear now? Let me know if that's clear. I know it's a hot mess, but is it clear? If it is, I'll just leave it that way. Is this one clear now, though, April? And let me turn this light, and that might help also, y'all. I wonder if it's like that on YouTube. Is anybody watching on YouTube? I'm just wondering if it's a Facebook something or fuzzy and slow. Let me see if I can pull it up on mine. Let's see. Okay, mine's sluggish coming up on my phone. It's clear. Okay, I'll just keep going, y'all. I think it's your autofocus. The more you move, the more it's blurry. Okay. Hey, Vicki. Hey, Vicki. It's good to see you. All right. So let me explain this hot mess that I've got spread out everywhere. So I was showing you these are coordinating. These big sheets are coordinating because I'm going to use some of this today. So I want to explain what goes with what. And then this one is one of the 4x6s. And it says new morning mercies. And I love that verse from Lamentation. this is what it looks like with all of it together. Let's see, 4x6, and then this one is another 4x6, and then some little ones here that we can use in Bible journaling or in your other little tags and creations like that. All right, so I think I've shown, so all of those are the butterfly bundle, and that's the bonus, y'all. So whenever I talk about the bonus, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you'll get for joining in March. Good. Thank you, Amanda. I'll just keep going, y'all. I'll keep going because I thought about I could stop and come back in, but it could be worse. So I'm going to keep going, and we're going to use this camera here. And it's possible that it's even my internet. I don't know, but let's see if we can keep going. All right. So this is the butterfly bundle, and I'm going to use some of it in just a minute in a journaling piece. And then I showed you the bunny bundle. Do you see what? It's so hard to say it. And then the last one, this is the one that I showed y'all yesterday. This is the butterfly cluster, and this is the one that I tweaked. I made this one because we realized it would be helpful to have smaller pieces. So I've scaled this pattern down, and now you can cut it in different ways and use it as a background like scrapbook paper. Okay, so there's that. Let me grab my journal so I can show y'all. Well, I don't see it. I think it's buried. I'm going to keep moving. Okay, so this is in there. This is a larger piece that you could cut down like I did yesterday and add it into the journal. You could layer it with this background piece. I know what I did. Hang on. Here it is. This is what we made yesterday from the bunny clusters. So yesterday we talked about different types of paper that you can use to get different effects. So this piece right here is that vellum paper. So someone asked about that. And I thought I could show you, but I don't see it. It's and Amanda, you might could help me with this. This is paper, it's vellum, but it can go through your printer. You asked April. Okay, good. I couldn't remember who it was. So look how translucent it is. You can see my hand behind there. So I purchased this from Amazon. Pretty sure that this is in the Amazon store, this particular brand, but there's other brands that you can also use. I use it a lot, and so I'm saving all of my little scraps, and I'm going to encourage y'all to save your scraps also. Let me show you, because at the end of the week, we can take these scraps and, like, this is a scrap from the vellum that I printed yesterday. I cut it down to fit inside my journal, but I'm going to save these. Even this, just like it is, could be a bookmark with a ribbon, but I think I'm going to use it to make some more tape. But we'll see. I'm saving it though. So get a box or something to save your pieces for afterwards. This is another thing that we did yesterday, and this came from the butterfly clusters, and it looked basically like this. And I cut it down in strips, and I used the packaging tape. If you missed it, it's like this tape here, and was able to make tape with it, and that was fun. So this is what we did yesterday. And then I started I'm going to open it back up so it can be drying. It's not totally dry. This is a napkin that I found at, believe it or not, Office Depot. So also yesterday, we, good, Vicky. So Vicky uses our boxes that we mail our packages in to put her pieces and extra things. That's a great way to do it because all of this stuff can be reused. So another thing we talked about yesterday is going ahead and whenever you have a project like this, look through your papers and your fibers, your threads, and your little bling and things like that, and pull out the things that coordinate. So this is something that I pulled out because, okay, that's got yellow, so that would work with this. I've got this thread that I pulled out that's orange, and it works with the bunnies. But by doing that, I think it alleviates some of the overwhelm of choosing things, the analysis paralysis whenever you get in there, whether you're painting a painting or you're working in a journal and you're starting with a blank page and it's like, I don't even know where to start. But if I collect all the things together that coordinate, that just alleviates a lot of the stress. So this is what it looks like when you print this onto vellum. Yeah. I also like clear containers. I just save all kinds of things that helps me to sort my stuff because I don't know about y'all, but I can get sidetracked really easily. And like I could go on the other side of the room, maybe looking for some yellow paper and get sidetracked by something else and never come back over here and finish what I was working on. I mean, it can be bad. So if I go ahead and take a few minutes and pull the stuff together, then I'm gonna be more productive in my creative time. Okay, so this is the cluster that I showed yesterday, and I went ahead and cut some of these pieces down. So I'm going to move that out of the way. All right, so one of the things I wanted us to talk about today, oh, and don't let me forget to go and tell y'all that. I love what Gloria had her idea, the zipper bags that sheet sets for pillowcases come in as great storage for paper strips and ribbons. That's great. And that way you can see what's in them and you could have them color coordinated. I love that. And I think for us as creatives, we're stimulated visually by color and by seeing things. So that way that's going to feed that creativity in you as well. All right, so today we had a schedule change. For those of you who knew that my friend Christy was going to be my guest teacher today, she had a family emergency come up, and so we're rearranging. So she will be here tomorrow. Let's see, so true about my husband says, did you see it? Yeah, I love that, Denise. I think that's a good way to look at it. That's a fun way to look at it, isn't it? To say, did you see a butterfly? All the time. I see them all the time. So since we normally letter on Tuesdays, I want to do that, but I wanted to show you this first. So y'all, this is a frame that I found at Dollar General. It was $5. And I originally purchased it for our stained glass butterfly that we're painting in Creative Hearts, but I have not used it yet and decided, I think I want to use it for this project. So the way it works is it's got this little piece of tape there. Well, hang on, I'm trying not to break it. This is supposed to slide out. Okay, it might not be doing like what I thought it was going to do. See how, all right. I might have to come back to this. Let me grab I really don't want to break this. And I kind of feel like I might if I keep pulling on that. But I thought this would come out. All right, we'll come back to this. Yeah, we'll come back to it because I don't want to break it, y'all. Wendy's, I do really well pulling things out at the beginning of a project. It's the putting of, me too, girl. Me too. Yep. All right, I'm going to move that so I won't be sidetracked by it. But whenever I get it off, my goal is, let me go ahead and tell you what my goal is. I want to use this paper. Let me get it. I just showed it to you. Well, I'm trying to decide if I want to use this paper on there and use it for lettering to layer with the lettering. But I really wanted it to be behind the glass. This is the one I want to use right here. See, I want to do it like that and then have the lettering. I want to letter a verse around that. What I might could do to still give you an idea, I think I'll do it like this. I'll go ahead and do the lettering just to give you some ideas. And then I'll get Terry to help me get that frame apart. All right, so let's do that. All right, so, and that'll give me time for this to dry just a little bit more. All right, so let's talk about pens. Move this so you can see. Can y'all see that okay? Hey. I don't know if our internet is sluggish or what the deal is. So Terry just came in, so I'm trying to tell him an update. So this is how I want to do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off of this. I wanted to get the back off of this so that I could change this out, but I didn't want to break it. All right, he's going to help me with that, and I'm going to focus on this. So let's talk about pens for just a minute. So I printed this onto using a laser printer. Yesterday, we talked about different types of paper, how that makes a difference. This, because it was a laser, it's kind of really smooth and it's got like a shiny finish to it. So I like that. So what I want to do now is I want to do one of our Bible verses around this. So if you were going to do this yourself, if you wanted to, you could take a what do you call it? Erasable pen, and you could write it with your erasable pen first just to get your placement. Then go over it with your permanent pen and take a little bit of heat, and that would erase your erasable pen. Have y'all used, I know some of you have. Let me grab one so I can show y'all. Okay, so these are, Friction is the brand of the pens. I highly recommend these. They come in this little felt tip, kind of like a flare pen. This is the eraser. They also have the ones that look like a thicker tip. These work great. And then they also have highlighters. You can use them in your Bible. They also have a ballpoint tip, but for some reason, I don't have that here. All right, let me get my sweater off, and we're fixing to go get serious now. All right, so one of our verses for this month is Romans 12:2. Don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I would like to put that on here, and here's why. So in our Creative Heart Studio, we've got 4 verses every month, 4 to 5 verses that we're using. We've got printables for it. And y'all, the reason that I do those is because, and I know you've heard me say this, but I've experienced the power of renewing my mind, and I've also experienced the power of using my creativity to help me renew my mind. So I know that whenever I'm intentional in what I practice, then I can not only improve my lettering skills, but I can also help my heart and help my mind because I'm renewing it. And there's a lot of craziness right now in our world. And so I just believe that it's even more important than ever before to keep our mind renewed. And one of the ways we can do it is through lettering or surrounding ourselves with truth. So I know that our encouragement club box has that verse, and I've got artwork already that's got that verse on it, and I can surround myself with it. But this is one more way that I can add that verse to somewhere in my home. So I'm looking at this, and I'm looking for things that might coordinate with these butterflies, because I could start lettering around like this. And so I've got a choice to make. Do I want to use a pen that's already this color, and then when I get to this butterfly, use a pen that's that color and kind of do it that way? That's something different. I haven't done that in a while, so I thought I would try that. So I'm going to be testing a few pens to find the right ones. All right, so I think this one is a good one. So let me get my reference because I don't want to forget what I'm doing. Stay right where you are.
You have little nails in it.
Okay, thank you for figuring it out. He's figuring it out for us, y'all. So this is our theme verse. And this is from the Encouragement Club. Do not be conformed. So let's see. Can y'all see that? Let's get it down a little bit closer. All right, so I'm just going to letter it on there. So what if you didn't want to letter it? I've got a plan for you. There's some verses, some lettering that you can print out in that packet. Do not be. And I'm going to do little dots. I used to do this all the time with my artwork. And I'm going to go to this one. Do not be conformed. So I'm going to write that kind of big right here. You could also do this for your journal. Okay. Do not be conformed. And now I need a purple. I'm just kind of doing it to this world. Do not be conformed to this world. Then I need a red. Let's see what I've got in the red family. I've got this. Let's see. I'm trying to get it as close to the design. That works. And that's perfect. But this is a flare pen, but I think I want to write the word transformed. right here. It's so perfect for a butterfly, isn't it? Because they are transformed. I'm about to run out of room. Am I going to make it? Transformed. How? By the, y'all still see it? And I really want the word renewing to stand out. So I think, what do y'all think about this color? This is a coral by the renewing. Renewing of, I wanted that to be the highlight. So once that Posca pen dries a little bit, I'll add a few more little details to it. Renewing of your mind. Now, if you wanted to do this in your journal, what you could do is go even a step further. You could write people's names around these butterflies as a prayer, in praying for them. Like you could do children or family members that you're praying for them. You're praying this verse for them. Another thing that you could do, let me show you that this, Tracy's going to do something on wood for us on Friday, but let me show you something that you could do with this, especially if you were going to be, hang on, let me get it. All right, so what if we cut out this butterfly and made it, what do you call it? Dimensional. That's the word I'm trying to think of. I'm going to do this one because this one's going to be easier to cut out. You won't be able to do all of them just because some of them overlap, but this would be a dimensional art piece. I'm not going to do his little antenna. We'll do something else with that, y'all. Is it going to tear it up? Okay. It may not have been meant to. It wasn't meant to. So the reason I couldn't get it off is it wasn't meant to be done that way, y'all. Okay, so look at here. Okay, you see that? All right, so I could take this little wing and that little wing and do like this. Can y'all see that? And then I could take, is my glue gun still hot? Can you tell if it's still hot? If it's not, I'll do it. It is a little bit warm.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, look at here. So I'm just going to do a little bead of hot glue. You could use a glue, one of the glue dots. I just didn't have mine handy. So I'm going to put that down. Look, isn't that cool? And then you could, since the other frame didn't work the way I thought it would, you could do it in a frame without glass. All right, and so this is some little scrapbook elements that I've had for, I don't know, half of forever. So look at that. That's the same color. So I could use this as his little antenna if you wanted to. All right, let me cut that off. So what do y'all think about that? See? All right, so let's do another one. Maybe let's do this one right here, because that way it gives us dimension at an angle, and that one would be kind of easy for me to cut it out. So this one that I'm cutting, so this piece right here is on laser. I printed it on the laser, and it was printed on, I think it was on that, if somebody remembers the type of that paper, the 32 pound, the bright white, I think it's HP. It was printed on that. The brighter white the paper is, the better your results are going to be. Your colors are going to be more vivid. All right, so look at this. So now I need to bend this little, I need to bend it right here just a little bit like that. And that gives some dimension there. I used a little piece, April, I used a little piece of pipe cleaner, little piece of pipe cleaner. You got it?
Yeah, just 2 pieces of it. And that was glued down.
Okay. Okay. All right. So they were saying that it's fuzzy.
Yeah, I've been watching it too.
Oh, it is fuzzy. Okay.
The only thing
I'm just going to do the edges with a little bit of marker here. All right. So what, y'all give me some ideas. What would you mount this to? You could do it in a frame with no glass. You could also mount it onto a canvas. You could do that. What else could we put this on? I'm just going around the edges. Like that. If you have a stamp pad, you could absolutely use a stamp pad. All right. A piece of wood, that's a good one. I wonder if this... that could work. That could absolutely work. We're just creating this as we go. So the original plan that I had didn't work, but I have a feeling that that happens to y'all from time to time, doesn't it? You have an idea of how you want to do something and it doesn't go the way you planned. And so you have a choice, either get frustrated and give up, or be creative and come up with something else. So let's see what we can do with this. All right, so I'm going to do the corners like this. Do y'all have grandchildren or daughters? This would be a really good gift for, I think, any age girl, but especially teenagers. Cross section of a tree. Oh, Amanda, you would love these. Let Adrienne know if you want to get them. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I kind of did this backwards. So if we were going to Mod Podge this, it would have been better to Mod Podge it first, right? But I didn't know I was going to do it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down like that very carefully with my little butterfly wings. And now I'm going to use my, glue, Fabri-Tac. It would be good on a cord. I love that. Deborah, you have 15 granddaughters? Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to glue it like this. This is really good sturdy glue. And I just could do this easier than doing it with Mod Podge.
Does that camera have a focus on it?
This one? I don't think it does. Hey, Terry's trying to help me, y'all. I think it was fine yesterday. I don't think we had any problems. Was anybody here yesterday? All right, so I'm going to get this down. Now, once I get this down, I'm going to show you another option with the lettering. If you didn't want to letter it yourself, in this bundle, there's this. You could have, that would have been pretty layered on there. I just wanted to do the lettering around the butterflies just to see how that would work. And I'm going to pull this out because I want to show you this, especially for those of you who like to send cards. This used to be one of the top picks of cards for sympathy. So yesterday it was good. Yeah. And see how the signal is lower, and I've got it direct connected. So thank y'all for being patient as I'm trying to work through what in the world is going on with it. All right, so I've got it on there really smooth. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just trim this off, and I'm going to put some ribbon or something on the edges. I think that would look good. Find my little scissors. An X-Acto knife would do this really well. I'm just grabbing what I can find close by. Yeah, and then we can come back and sand that a little bit. So then this one I'll go down. But I want to show you, I want us to finish this off. So so the plan for the new club, just so you know, this is separate from the Encouragement Club, and it's separate from Creative Heart Studio. I'm seeing this as a resource to either one of those clubs, or for people who don't really want to learn to letter or paint, but they love to create and craft. It's also good for that. We will have a private Facebook group for those people in this new club so that you can post your work, ask questions, and then we will have a monthly Zoom gathering. And then guess what? Adrienne's been doing a lot of work in the hub getting it cleaned up, and I'm already hearing good reports from y'all. This creative art club will also have a hub. So that way you can go there and watch the replays of our Zooms, and that's where you will go to get your printables. Okay. All right. So I've got that cleaned up. Now let me show you with a little bit of sandpaper. So you could paint the edges if you wanted to. I think it would be pretty with ribbon. I like ribbon. I think it would be pretty with fabric. You could take some of that scrapbook paper or some of the pattern paper. because this has got a ledge on it, I think, let me show you what I'm thinking would work. This would even work. So you could cut this in strips and put that around the edge. What do y'all think about that? So we would need strips that are about 3/4 of an inch, and it would have a complete edge. She is, yes, she is like, I don't know what to describe her as. She definitely anticipates things, and she just does a phenomenal job. She wants y'all to have the best experience. Now, for those of you who are like me and you like the bling and the ribbons and the threads, now you can add more things to it to get even more dimension with this piece. So that's one idea of what you can do. And I'm not going to try and finish the sides with you. I want to still have time to do the journaling page, but that's just an idea of how you can do it. And I'm thankful that the Lord, I had that wood right here beside me, so thankful he did that. All right, so let me move this. All right, tell me again what you said about this.
Just take it out, and you see there's two pieces of little plexiglass, real thin.
Okay, that's what I thought it was going to do. Okay, but all right, so let me show y'all this. Here, let's try this. All right, so this is the frame that I said I got from Dollar General. It was $5, I think. I thought I could easily pop this out, but I couldn't. So Terry took that wood piece off at the back, and it is two pieces of plexiglass. So originally what I wanted to do was to add that butterfly page in there and add a piece of lettering on top. So I just put it on the board anyway. So if you purchase one of these, just know you're going to have to take the little wood piece off so that you can take these two pieces off and replace that picture. But this would be a really good thing. And then you could do a collage with paper scraps around the outside, or you could paint it. That would work also.
Show them how that flower comes off.
Okay. So, see, it's just got a glue dot. See? All right, so remove that. Let's just, let me show you, where's the bunny that I had? Even this would work. So you could cut it down and then you could put it in here. Let's just do it. Let's just cut it down. This is the one Tracy's going to be doing with us on Friday. Tracy Gibson with Print Cut Craft. All right, so you could put a verse on this. But my thought with this particular type of frame is that it didn't cost much, and then you could change it out. You could change it out each month and have a different verse on it, different artwork on it. So like for April, we're going to be doing crosses. So I've already got, and I'll show y'all the April one. My goal is to show you Friday what the club's projects, printables will be on Friday. In Creative Heart Studio, we're painting a cross, and it's a very special cross. It is, I'm calling it Worthy is the Lamb. and it's watercolor. And it's a big project. And I'm hoping for those of you who are in Creative Heart Studio that I'll have the kit ready for y'all later today, because I might need to order a few wood pieces for it. Let me show you. So this is big. So this is what we're going to be painting in Creative Heart Studio. I'm showing you this because what I did is I went through my artwork and I found some crosses for the Printable Club. And so if you're in Creative Heart Studio, I'll be teaching you to paint crosses. If you join us in Creative Art Printables, then we'll be creating with crosses. So either way, our focus will be crosses. Okay, so look, isn't that cute? So now I could take some, stuff. Sherry, I think you're going to love it. I can't wait to see. So for those of you who did the spring window with me with Jingle Mingle, it's similar process. We'll use the wax. And so look, that's what I had envisioned for this. What do y'all think? Then you could take a piece of wire up here for the antenna, and then next month you could change it out and do a different one. Then for the verses, if you wanted to, you could take like this one. This one says, "Behold, the new has come." You could cut that out, and let me just do it. Is this helping you? Is this giving y'all some ideas? May will be lambs. Sandy, you have a lot of stuff. Yeah. Don't you think most creative people do? Don't you think so? All right, so I'm just trimming this down. I could add the color. I just want to show you how this could be finished out and make a really easy gift, especially this time of year. We got graduations coming up. We have Mother's Day coming up. Yep. Do you know the papers, Sherry? Do you know the brand? All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just adding some color to this word, come. I'm just curious, is it still blurry on the big screen? Or was that better? Okay. Probably help if I get it going in the right way. All right, so then I could go around the edges and then just put it right here with a little bit of, I think even double stick glue tape would work, because you're not going to see the back side of it. These are like little coloring pages, actually. Let's use a little bit of purple, since this is the purple butterfly. We talked about these yesterday. These are the Flair pens. Flair has come out with their own brush pens now. I guess everybody else was making brush pens, so they jumped on the wagon. Now, thank you for taking this apart for us.
Sure.
I just wanted y'all to be able to see it. This would be a good graduation gift or a Mother's Day gift. All right, so let me make it big. So then they'd need to save those wood pieces, right, to put it back. So you'd need to save the wood piece, put it back in here. You could tie a bow, you could paint the edge, but there's a inexpensive little gift. Okay, so thank you, Terry, for helping me with that. So do we have enough time to do just a journal entry? I guess I'll get it from Amazon, Nina Brightwhite. Okay. Okay. Well, and don't feel like you have to get all the stuff. You can just add to your stash. Just add to your stash a little bit along. You don't have to get it all. All right, so let me get my journal out because I want us to do just a little bitty bit of lettering together since it's Tuesday. There's that. So I don't know if this is dry. I can. I'll be glad to, Brenda. So with the other club, the ART Printable, you'll get the printable bundles, the themed bundles every month, and there'll be 7 to 8 pages of printables with several things on each page. And it'll vary depending on what the designs are, and the sizes. And then with that, we will have a monthly Zoom so that we can do some projects together. I'll have some guest teachers that will teach us some things also. But if you liked doing the butterfly journal with me and the Child of the King, that's the big thing that I will be teaching, is using them in your journal. Kind of like we did there with that. Does that help you to know that? All right, so with this, I wanted you to see how we talked about this yesterday, how that blue really paired well with this particular page. So I just want to do a journal entry with this as we get ready to close out for today. Thank y'all for being patient and willing to be flexible with it. Move that out of the way. So one of the ways you can use these is as a prompt. So yesterday I think I used this one yesterday. Yeah, I used this one yesterday. And the way it was a prompt is, it says set free in Christ. I used it kind of like as a thank you page. Thank you, Lord, for freedom. And then underneath here, I started listing some of the things that I'm free from. All right, so over here on this one, I just was experimenting with using just a napkin on that page. And so I'm looking at this. I had mentioned I wanted to tell you about this design. Let me find the little tag. So I took this piece right here, and then I took a wooden tag. I think these are 3 by 5. Let's see. Thank you, Wendy. I forgot about that. Yes, the Facebook page, Adrian's already got it put together for us, and that's where you'll be able to learn from other people. 3 by 5. You can show your work and ask questions of each other in there. So this says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit. So something this simple as this right here, you could print this out, cut it down, and I think I used Mod Podge on this one to attach it. And then I had just a little scrap of napkin right there. And then this is some of that patterned paper. I attached that with that little napkin. And so that little gingham was inspiration. So I plundered through my stuff and I found some ribbon. And so this could be a gift. This could be a gift to give to someone. And it doesn't have to even be sympathy. It could be just a trial or a trauma or a tragedy or just loss. There's lots of people that could benefit from the reminder of this verse. So that's one way that you could use this. This size is the 4x6. So you could frame this. I didn't have a 4x6 frame handy that I could grab, but even on a canvas, this isn't the right size canvas, but you could even clip it to a canvas and use that as a gift for someone or for yourself if it's you that's working through and just need that reminder from Psalms. The Lord is close. He's close. So then one other way that you could use something this simple is in your prayer journal. So what I was thinking is you could cut this down and put it in your journal and then let this be the prompt page, and you could start you could use this leftover space there for listing people that you're praying for, that you're praying this verse over these people. So it would be as simple as, I'll just do it with my scissors. Something this simple. So think of these. They're decorative pieces. They're things you can craft with, but they can also be prompts, spiritual prompts, whether it's prayer or in just journaling. Y'all know that that's something that's really, really important to me. All right, so this has just a tiny bit of blue in this design. It's got navy in that design. And I know that navy and yellow pair really well together. So I could then look for another color from this to layer it and really have this to pop. So what color, if you were just looking at this, what do you see as a good color? We did this yesterday. These are just some little strips, scrapbook paper. So look at that green. By putting that green there, it pulls out the green around the words and it draws attention to it. So I'll just put that down like that. And then I'm just going to use this glue for now. So let's do this together for closing. If you would put, that's true. Yep. I didn't see yours, Wendy, but that would be good. I'll do that in the lettering. So if you know someone that could benefit from this verse, put it in the comments and we'll letter it right here on the side, because we usually do that on Tuesdays. We letter names. So if you'll put it in the comments, I'll start lettering their names over here and we'll close out with lettering. Okay. There we go. And you could go back with hole punch and you could add ribbon and stuff like that. So our verse is, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit. Laura and Phil. So we're praying that that they will know that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those crushed in spirit. Mary Elizabeth. I didn't leave enough room, so I'm putting her name on 2 lines. Oh, Diane, I'm so sorry. I'm going to put your name down, Diane. Let's put MK because her mother passed away early this morning. Let's do MK. There's always a delay. All right, I'm gonna start with your names as I'm waiting for more to pop up. So I'm going to put Brenda and Wendy. I put Diane, Debbie, okay. Gail. That is hard, isn't it? Sherry, niece Lori, Jackie. So see, the way this worked out, I didn't have a plan for this. I just knew I wanted to put this down, this paper down, and pair it with some of these butterflies and give yourself the freedom to work with what you've got. So you may not have a lot of supplies right now. So look at what you've got and what can you work with. I see Sandy is here. Tanya. Deborah. Amanda. And see, you could just fill this entire page up with people. April. Tony. You know what? My battery's about to die again. Vicky's here. I'm glad to see you, Vicky. Gloria's here. So you could use this as your prompt page. Jan. Who have I missed? Holly. Holly lost a puppy the other day too. They just have a big part of our hearts, don't they? Pam. Yeah. Okay, so I went all the way down this column. So what if you wanted to write on this? So this has got Mod Podge on it. You could still write on there, but you're going to need something that my battery's about to die. That will work on that slick surface. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I don't see any other names. Let's see if I've missed anybody. Does anybody have any questions before we go? Okay, so tomorrow we will be back at noon, and Christy should be here with me tomorrow. And then I have another special guest coming also for a project. And we're just going to keep trying to use these printables in as many ways as we can, not just to make decorative things, but to help surround ourselves with reminders of hope and reminders of scripture, and just to bring encouragement to our own heart, but also to other people. So thank y'all for showing up today and being here. And thank y'all for ordering the printables. I appreciate it and giving it a shot. And thank you to our brand new members. I'm looking forward to us working together and just learning and growing in the best way to size these and how y'all want to use them. I think it's going to be great. So I hope you leave here encouraged and reminded the importance to surround yourself with truth and use that creativity to do it. All right. Thank y'all for being here, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon. See you soon.